Hello friends, this is Dr. Ravi Sani. So our today's discussion is about blood group antigens. So there is a very unusual thing about the ABO blood group antigens is that the naturally occurring antibodies present in plasma of those subjects who lack the corresponding antigen if they have not been transfused or been pregnant. तो बेसिकली जो ABO ब्लड ग्रुप एंटीजेंस हैं in these antigens, their respective antibodies are present in the plasma of those subjects who lack the corresponding antigens. अगर कोई एंटीजन प्रेजेंट है तो उसका जो रेस्पेक्टिव एंटीबॉडी है वो प्लाज्मा में एब्सेंट होगा. इधर दे हैव ट्रांसफ्यूज ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन हुआ है प्रेगनेंसी या कुछ और कंडीशन है. इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन या प्रेगनेंसी वाली कंडीशन हो. Still, the respective antibodies will be present in that. Now the antibodies. Antibodies are also known as uh, immunoglobulins. These are proteins, basically proteins, which are produced by plasma B cells. Plasma B cells are modified lymphocytes, specifically B lymphocytes, as a result of interaction with antigens. So it is a general definition of antibodies, like they are the immunoglobulins, proteins, which are produced by the plasma B cells as an interaction with antigens. Now, antibodies are a part of the humoral immunity of the immune system, where each antibody identifies a specific antigen and protects the body against it. Humans have 5 classes of antibodies. We can mnemonize them like game. The mnemonic could be game. IgA, IgT, IgE, IgG, IgM. So these are the general groupism of antibodies. This one is a respective differences between these antibodies. This is IgA, IgD, IgE, IgG, IgM. These are the structural differences between them. IgA, it is secreted into mucus, saliva, tears, colostrum. IgD, it stimulates release of IgM. It binds to mast cells and basophils, specifically in allergic and antiparasitic activity. These antibodies are present. They bind to phagocytes, and these are the main antibody for secondary responses. They can cross placenta. In case of IgM, it fixes complement. It is the main antibody or primary response B cell receptors, and it also participates in immune system memory. Now the blood group antibodies. As there are 2 types of antigens in blood group, so respective antibodies are also having a 2 types, the anti-A and the anti-B. They are immunoglobulins of IgM class. In the previous slide, we studied there are 5 classes of antibodies in which the blood antibodies are of IgM class. They react optimally at cold temperature. That's why they are called cold antibodies. Immune antibodies develop in response to blood transfusion or by transplacental passage of red cells possessing antigens during pregnancy that the subject lacks. So the immune antibodies, they are not naturally occurring antibodies. They are developed because of the response, because of the response when blood transfusion occurs or some transplacental passage occurs, and the specific condition is that the red cells possessing antigens are absent in the respective subject, but due to these transfusion or placental passage or during pregnancy, these antigens travel uh, in that subjects and will produce immune antibodies. These antibodies are of commonly Ig class. They react optimally at 37 degrees Celsius. That's why they are called warm antibodies. Now come to the blood group antibodies. In case of blood group antibodies, IgM class antibodies are not capable of transplacental passage. Only IgG class antibodies are capable of transplacental passage, like the anti-D antibody, which is a Rh antibody. It is of IgG class and capable of transplacental passage. In further class, we'll discuss about the Rh incompatibility. So these Rh antibodies are formed because of the presence of these Rh antigen. Rh antibodies rarely occur naturally and are immune antibodies because Rh antibodies, when blood transfusion or pregnancy, in these conditions, these antibodies are formed. Rh antibody is responsible for most of these clinical problems associated with the system. So here we are having two classes, IgM class and the IgG class. IgG class, in that transplacental passage is possible, and the most common example of these IgG class are the Rh antibodies, which are immune antibodies because naturally they are not present, but they form due to previous blood transfusion or pregnancy. Most of the complications occurs due to the presence of these anti-D antibody or Rh antibodies, and IgM class antibodies are not capable of transplacental passage.